Lily Pillies.
Wake the farm up.
Wake the farm up. Yup. This is your host, Andy the Elf. We're down here May 10th, 2023. Baby, live at the Drip Coffee Lounge. Getting down with Cincinnati's local food and music scene. We've been going beyond genre, beyond the grocery store, onto the farms, into the gardens with the people. We be chilling down here, getting loungy at the lounge. But people up dancing, you can't help. You first start just bobbing your head, you're grooving to a conversation that's got a beat. Next thing you know, you're on your feet. You're feeling the story as it comes into mind. And then next thing you know, looking around, everybody's being so kind. The gardens are growing, the music is flowing. Wake the farm up. Yeah, we be maintaining ground for us all to wake the farm up. Yeah. And grow our inner forest. Let's grow our inner forest. Let's grow ourselves to be a healthy, vibrant, self-regenerative system. Some fun shows coming up. A bunch of amazing recordings went down at the Soul Patch at summer camp. We were working hard and had a lot of fun. That's how we do it. That's what's going down, ditches. The water is life. We flow like water. So here we are, Camp Washington. It's a beautiful curation of souls putting together their hearts and passions. Stefan 101 steps up in this one. The evening we had amazing performances from a whole bunch of artists. You have to come down to one of these Drip shows. We're helping throw together the Drip Coffee Lounge's Camp Washington Fest. Keep an ear out for a date on that. We might even add it in the footnotes if they come soon. So wake the farm up. Here's one from Stefan 101 to open the show, yo.
Into bridges. Let's go. Alright, now I just ate a mushroom and watch what will happen.
Alright, this is Drip. Drip.
So.
Okay, then.
It's gonna get nasty. It's about to get nasty.
like the way it is.
Wow.
On the spot. I like the way it does.
So, several times we just look at the layers.
Andy, just say something.
We just look at the layers.
Just say something.
Like baklava.
Oh, okay.
And we layer the baklava like kind of the
Okay,
same
wait.
way onions layer the onion lava. And then we take all the lava, we put it together, and we become lava. One artist united drip.
Check.
We're so glad you're here, Daisy.
We're so glad you're
So
here.
super happy.
Grand tour, the art coming in moments, coming in moments, coming in moments. Artist mix a night at drip. Coffee. Lounge. Not in the wrong place.
Hey. Yep, this sounds fine, I think, yep.
There's all kinds of stuff going on around here in this beautiful little land of Camp Washington. What's up? Hey! We're gonna wake the farm up. A drip coffee lounge.
Yeah.
I'm emphasizing the lounge this time. I think last time we were down here, we emphasized the drip. We emphasized the drip. This time we're inside here. We got couches, we got lounge pads, we even got lounge masters lounging around in here. I seen some leisure suits going by earlier too.
Kind of feeling loungy.
So I'm your host of the Wake the Farm Up Maintaining Ground podcast. We do live recording shows here and there and connect with farm communities, homesteads, permaculture conversations, local food, local art, local music. I want to welcome up our co-host, Liz Virgo.
Hey. What's up, y'all?
Give some of that Liz Virgo's life.
I'm chilling. I'm feeling the lounge vibes. I'm like half-seated, kind of ready to stand if need be, but it doesn't seem necessary quite yet.
Yeah, we got the chill Dr. Bionic grooves in back here. We got Stefan and Auto Project they're pointing things out. Like, look at that wire right there. It'll set it into hyperdrive. Yeah, that one right there. It's charged and fully ready to go. Yeah, shields are down on this one though. Yeah, I think number 3, it needs to run through, and then we'll have the guest, come up on your stage. And that's how we gotta work it, but most of the time I'm out in the fields, like in the forest, just working with these like organic vines and stuff, and these ones are just so fascinating to me every time.
Yeah. I have no skills on that end of the microphone. I'm grateful to be on this side. Half the time I squeak on this side too, but at least there's good people taking care of that end.
Yes, it's a beautiful day.
Oh, man.
It's a beautiful
There we go.
day.
You have the look in your eye like you
We're in Camp Washington. We got big things to talk about.
But it never happens on my microphone.
See coming. It's an elf thing, I can't help it. Sometimes it's just like it's like my connection through the mycorrhizae in the forest. Sometimes it just connects through and causes this phosphorescent kind of glow, and you just can't help it. You just can't help it.
Your face when that voice comes on is just so excited. You're like, oh.
Oh, tell us about it, you know. That little glow, little phosphorescent.
I think
You think it was?
What happened there?
You think it was?
I think that you would do a full podcast of you just singing about donuts in that voice if we would let you.
Oh, tonight we're not gonna be doing donuts. We're
Not
in
donuts.
Camp Washington. We're gonna get silly and talk about some chili. You know, Camp Washington chili. You know, we want them to come to this.
Fest that we're going to be talking about here in Camp Washington. So the Camp Washington Fest. It's this fest that Drip Coffee Lounge is wanting to throw down here for the whole community of Camp Washington, including the chili place, right? And, you know, hopefully all the people that we see that are walking around, there's people up on top of rooftops of buildings just waiting for a fest right now.
Right. Practically hear them roaring for it.
So what do you think about like a fest? Like you can see there's like this area out here where there can be some food trucks and some of these live musicians. I mean, every time we've been down here, there's been some amazing live musicians throwing down here. People having really fun energy, coming together, celebrating life. And that's for me one of the basis of what a festival is.
Right? I love the, just community gatherings centering on the neighborhood. It's like we live in this funky time where we can skip around from neighborhood to neighborhood, or of course you look around seeing teenagers just on their phones and adults, everybody just on their phones, not connecting to each other. So anytime there's an actual hey, people who live in this area, let's come together, know each other, party, eat food. I'm like, yes.
Yeah, I mean, look, like, Stefan 101's like, he's even sending a text message to this tree in my backyard. I've been catching him lately. He's been sending text messages to this tree in my backyard.
Oh my God.
This maple tree. So a maple tree's botanical taxonomical name is Acer, and this happens to be a red maple, so it's an Acer saccharum.
Yeah.
And, cut Acer rubrum.
Oh, okay.
Right, yeah. Got the wrong Samara on that helicopter drop down. So Stefan 101, welcome tonight. Thanks for curating a drip special here. Tell us about Camp Washington Fest.
Camp Washington Summer Fest. We are setting the date. We need to cook the time. I know we got Aunt a Lick in the house. He's going to be helping us lead that. That's going to be pretty awesome. Really looking forward to that. We got India in the house. What's up? Daisy! Got the Joe. Got the Lou. Yeah, so this is a good opportunity to stir it up and get the vibe going. We'll be here into the evening. This is only the beginning. So thank you for our early stirring it up crowd, and we will keep it moving. Andy, say you want to start off with peace?
Let's walk it out the now.
Could bring out.
Time for a little plant walk.
No plant walks.
Yeah, we're gonna get a little deep into the Makatiwa Valley here. So if you know what the Makatiwa Valley is here, so this is Camp Washington, and there's a stream that runs through here. It's called the Mill Creek currently, but originally people called it the Makatiwa. And fortunately around here in the last couple of decades, I found there's a lot of people that actually know about the Makatiwa name and still call it that. So we love calling it that too.
Yeah.
And I wanted to bring up a guest today who's from the area around here, who's been growing food in community gardens and for the community in other ways. And I'm stoked to have him out here, Johnny Rubush.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm wondering. Well,
Stay over
yeah,
here.
I guess there's a buzz zone over there.
Welcome.
Hello.
Hey. Thanks for coming to wake the farm up.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
It's my second time here on the podcast. trying to do it better this time. I was talking too fast last time. I'm gonna keep it slow and try to be, meaningful and, not to pack everything in. You gotta digest the ideas too.
Yeah, well, where were you where was the first podcast episode
I
recorded?
think over there in College Hill,
Okay. Yeah, over in the lab.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's cool to be down here in Camp Washington. It's got a lot of potential, this neighborhood. It reminds me of where I live, north side, a few years ago. It's still got a kind of eclectic vibe to it. And, I think about that, Washington fighting Tecumseh in the back in the day, 1790s and stuff. This was the spot where Washington camped. And here we are on the banks of the Makatewa, the Mill Creek, which is really fascinating little creek. Makatewa means black boy, and like dark boy, because there were so many walnuts that fell in the river that it dyed it like dark brown.
I love that.
And it was it's a small creek, but the Ohio would flood, and then it would flood up here, and the Mill Creek would like absorb that area all along Spring Grove Avenue. It was like one of the most rich, diverse places ever. I mean, you're talking about elk, buffalo, every kind of bird. Like, it was a giant estuary right here for birds, like one of the biggest ones in America. I mean, if you look at the map, this little valley right here is like essential. And, I was thinking about, we neglect it, but at the same time, we are still doing those things that the animals were doing. The trucks are the buffaloes, and the people are selling their, coffee beans and their rocks and their, things that people and animals been taking these, resources and flipping them for a while. And, I do kind of long for those old days and that, the pure, clean water and mankind just living like at one with nature. But I do think we have a lot of opportunity here to like make this special. We have all these minerals and all these metals and things that we've brought to the surface, and mine them with the roots and the planting and intentional things. And we have escaped things that are wild, that are destroying things, and it's a fucking wild circus, with lots of plants and animals doing their part still. And I'm happy to see Andy and these putting these farm ideas out in people's heads and stuff. I think the ecosystem is something important to think about, how you involve with your ecosystem and what kind of little ecosystem you have in your backyard.
Wake the farm up. The sand dials have dropped there. That was some good stuff on this. Yeah. That was like poetic, like on the spot. You were making that all up, but I could visualize a lot of the things you're talking about, from the soils to like just your feels in it, and even more like almost abstractly.
Yeah, I had a list of things, and I just wanted to just touch on all of those things, maybe not coherently, but we just throwing those things out there. There's a lot to cover in the world, and I think when you're a farmer, especially this time of year, you're like overwhelmed with, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do,
the big long chore.
Just keeps going until you're tired and you're asleep and you wake up and do it again.
Yeah. Thanks for taking the time to be here with us. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
So it's been a bunch of different gardens that you've worked in, and now is it just like you just want to have some chili? Is it time? Is it not even yet? Not even time for chili yet. It's like trying to go and hoe the garden again. It's like I did
That for the last like 2 decades or something, you know, it's like the garden's just gonna hoe itself now, or it's gonna like mulch itself, or it's gonna like situate itself into some sort of way, or I'm gonna touch a little bit more. I'm gonna have a special little tomato.
Can I have a question? I have a question for John about. I've been really interested in the Maktiwa and learning more about it, and the fact that we don't share that. When we say Mill Creek, like I'm looking for some like Maktiwa shirts. Someone needs to start this, like, because we're not identifying with the language that was here when people got here. Yeah, and I'm wondering why we're not doing that.
He got one on right now.
Yeah, he has a Makatiwa shirt on right now.
Yeah.
Nice. Where did you get that shirt?
Russ made it. They were,
Russ
you know,
made that
some
beautiful artwork
graffiti
on the
guys,
shirt.
and they did a line of shirts, and
That's
he wanted
awesome.
them. Yeah.
So I remember the Mill Creek as a kid being this creek that when I walked in it with my tennis shoes and then walked on the concrete, the bottoms of my soles were melting off and sticking to the concrete. And that wasn't that long ago, but I know now there's a lot more areas where they're seeing fish in the water and more animals come into the water, so it must be cleaner if like maybe you can go in it with your tennis shoes now. I don't know.
Yeah, they've definitely cleaned it up a lot. There's been a whole lot of efforts. The Makatiwa runs through my neighborhood too, right over Spring Grove Village, right by Northside, and we get them in our community council meetings a lot, talking about how much they've cleaned up, and it's like good for waiting now. They say, you know, you can walk in it safely, do not consume it, but they've got all kinds of percentages and all kind of stuff. So volunteering for the Mill Creek Alliance, they're an awesome organization that's really improved the Mill Creek, and of course we got to remember it's not just the creek, like you were saying, it's an ecosystem. It's when you improve the creeks, you're improving all the animals and creatures' lives around it. You're improving the wildlife that grows around it, and really just the waterways of this whole country, and the waterways of the Ohio River. And
I think, you know, along those lines, it's important to take care of our waterways just as much as at our homes. We want to put filters on our refrigerators. We want to put filters next to our sinks so we can have our own reverse osmosis water, because we don't want to get, you know, just the city water coming in. But like, aside from buying these like disposable filters, it'd be more progressive for us all to start working on making it so our waters are clean enough that we can actually go down to them like people always have, and be able to take a cup or a horn, like Liz has her drinking horn with her here tonight. But you can just go down there with any drinking vessel and just drink water.
yes,
Just like we've always have.
yeah, for sure. You've talked about some fascinating ways to do that too. I know I think you've talked on the show in the past about mushroom filtration systems. I know a lot of people think, I've been reading about like different ways to plant things in the water for decades, it seems, but where's the real investment in that?
Yeah, like the mushrooms infused into wood chips and then wrapped in burlap tubes, strung out across the streams in areas where the water laps up against them. Chemicals can go up into there, and there's mushrooms that will eat chemicals and turn it back into biological material, and then it's clean, it's safe. Right now, like the current method is when there's a large chemical spill, there's weather manipulation. They make it rain a whole lot, and they go with the old idea of dilution is the solution, but mushrooms really are the solution anymore. And being able to grow these and turn it into good soil as opposed to diluting it and like having to be okay with some parts per million of some toxic chemical that we really don't want. Like, let's clean it up with the mushrooms from the source.
For sure. And I mean, I was blown away when you talked about mushrooms doing that, because I've definitely heard more about like other types of plants. So it's not just mushrooms. You know, there's different water systems. I remember reading about one in like Asia. This was like 15 years ago that I read about it, so I don't have a lot of details. But but they reintroduce a lot of native plants and like watch their waterways just return.
Yeah, I was down there earlier this morning doing a little research, and there was 2 Canadian geese, and they were like taking a dip kind of gingerly, like they don't see the news, so they're just
Right.
left to like absorb the the politics and the chemicals and everything just right into their skin. But there was one carp. I saw this carp. He was in like a little fast-moving little part of the creek there in a bend, and looking pretty vigorous, But all in all, it looked a little weaker than usual. I know we had a big rain that somehow like 220, a bunch of, sewage got released into it, which doesn't usually happen, but somehow there's a mix-up upstream. Yeah, so there's still a warning, don't go in the water there. But yeah, I mean, we could fix it if we put our mind to it. I mean, we have global, you can buy a piece of plastic shipped from Vietnam, but, you could engineer the creek to go back and forth and pass through all these mushrooms and plant systems. I mean, and, I think that would benefit us all, because it would really clean the air and the water and the plants and the air all working together, makes a nice environment. You can just, how many trucks and roads and buildings and everything can you have all crammed in, and everyone's just rushing to get to work, and the big important stuff is the plant life that cleans everything that we kind of take for granted.
Right. I know. I'm in the early stages of trying to refinance my house, which is fun. I'm like, y'all, can I write down that I'm exchanging plants for the services? I need you all to understand. I need you all to understand that I'm bartering here. I don't think that's gonna. I don't think they're taking oregano down on the loan application. But
I was thinking, what if you had a tax credit for trees, or a tax credit for less lawn? Like you take a place and you get rid of some of the lawn.
Hey, Stefan, you've been texting with that tree in my backyard, right? That Acer rubrum. Do you think maybe they'd let us know, what they think and what they have to say about that? Would they text us back, or you think you'll get a no reply? Get some ghost treated.
Nice.
I suggested drink for drip. I'm gonna throw it out there. You know where I'm headed. I'm staying with my theme. Pine needle tea.
Pine needle tea.
Make it tasty. People will be interested.
Yeah.
It's the open market.
Yeah.
Look it up for 2 minutes. Take 2 minutes out of your life to look into pine needle tea, and you'll wonder. Watch. I feel like it's like pre-Starbucks. I'm sucking this right now. All of a sudden there's gonna be, we're recording this, so we'll know. But a few months, all of a sudden the year would be like, oh, you didn't know that? Oh yeah, they're serving that. Oh yeah, that's the new drink. Everyone's drinking it.
Pine needle coffee.
Everyone knows.
Why would I want to do that? I just want to get a bowl of chili.
We could have been making it, starting at. This is the team right here, the Pine Needle Tea Squad.
We've done it. We've done it for years. I mean.
Yeah, you take
the education of a little tree and the
where's the tea?
Cherokee.
Take the pine needles and dry them up, ground them into a powder like some kind of matcha, and then mix it with hot water, and then you take a matcha brush and you whisk it up so it gets really oxygenated and it's green, and then all the materials in there too, and not just a tea where you take it out and you put it in your compost, but you're actually consuming the whole thing. That's good. I like that.
And
yeah.
Where's the tea? You usually have some tea when we have an episode. Is there any tea today?
Yeah, there's tea.
What you got?
What you got on the tea zone?
Oh no, I was talking to Andy the Elf. I was talking to the Elf, but he's
what we
passing
got on
the
the tea? We got tea cards.
He's like, I don't need to bring tea when we're in a coffee lounge.
All types of tea. Gossip and real tea.
I love it. Yes.
I just had a shot of the gossip tea.
Right?
That's why they gotta have vaults here.
Yes. Okay. So that's cute. We're talking about pine needles. I remember that you told me I wasn't gonna get scurvy because of the pine needles. What about the spruce tips? I feel like the spruce tips should also help me out.
Yeah, those are good.
Yeah. We've been talking about those a lot recently, eating those. It's fun. it's very worthy to take a tree ID class just so that you can eat some spruce tips, in my opinion.
That's one of your tips right now.
Aye.
Yeah.
Mega Meg.
Yeah, I caught these people that they heard spruce tips were good, right? So it's really good to like look into how to do some of these things, because like they were just cutting the whole branches off, and then they're gonna try to eat like the wood and everything. I was just like, all right, we need to work on this. You're not a woolly mammoth. You can't eat a whole entire branch of wood. Go like see these soft tips like in the spring, like how they have like their little fingers that'll hold like whatever oil you want to cook it in, a little bit of salt, and like, so good. That's our spruce tip.
Yeah, you said it was like asparagus tips. That definitely opened up my thinking on it. And it has like a really strong citrusy flavor. So I feel like it can work with that a lot.
I mean, really, that's a good foraging tip. You know, we're going into tips, you know, off the spruce tip. I mean, just remember, spruce tips come in spring. I don't know, you might have heard of the spruce springtime. It's like, I think that was like a famous one.
Oh my gosh.
And there's a lot of plants though, like when you eat them, the tips are so good. There's like more succulent flavors and nutrients often found in tips, like the tips of a sassafras tree, the tips of even the garlic mustard, the tips of them when they got seeds on them. There's so many, that's our foraging tip. Look at that pattern, right?
Yeah, except for, like they saying try not to let your garlic mustard go to seed, eat it before it gets there, if you don't want garlic mustard, of course.
Well, you could put a whole lot of thought into it, but when they have seeds in them, you eat them, they're good. That's what I'm saying, you know.
For sure.
Yeah,
So
tips
Johnny-
are good. That's where the life is, right in the tip, you know.
Yeah.
Just the tip.
Energized.
That's with the life growing right there, and you know, eating that is good. Like sprouts. I mean, people have been doing that for a long time. And trees do feed us too with the little tips.
So what? Okay. Now I'm gonna geek out a little bit on trees. The spruce has a pointy end, and you can roll it easily between your fingers, the little needles. They've got, if you pull the needles off of the twig or stem or whatever, then it's kind of rough. But there was another tree that I was starting to harvest tips off of, and then I realized that it had a rounded end and it was flat. So is that a fir? What was I doing? I don't know.
Could be a yew bush or...
A yew, maybe?
Possibly.
No, it
Which
wasn't
could
a
be-
yew. It definitely wasn't a
That's
yew.
a dangerous one to look
It
out
was
for.
definitely not a yew.
Don't eat the yew.
What
The
me?
yews are
What me?
pretty distinctive,
What
I
me?
think, if you're starting to get into it a little bit.
Was it you?
What, hey, Johnny,
Right, I have to ask
while we got
Megamaxis.
some more time with you up here, do you have any other tips for us on foraging or like growing gardens in the environment here that we're in right now along the Makatiwa?
Yeah, I mean, the goji berries are doing really well for me down here. It's pretty nice little, put it on the fence, just needs a little support, but it's producing a high medicine value kind of seed, fruit, little berry.
I'm gonna have to hit you up.
Yeah, the goji is a good one. It, you know, I like the bed straw too. I'm a big fan of this cleaver, we call him. He's a strand. He's like a sticky plant. You touch him and he sticks on your hand, and like it's got good stuff for your urinary tract. Like a lot of this stuff in the springtime, it's like to cleanse you out from all the hard stuff you had to eat over the winter. Stuff with a lot of tannins and that lasts, and nuts and stuff. Our body's meant to process all those things, but then in the spring there's all these plants come out with their you know, newness and their cleanliness or whatever, you know, like cleaning the urinary tract, the kidneys, the blood, the nettles. You know, I'm a big fan of the nettles. They can grow in the shade right here in the city. And you know, also the little violets. Violets in your yard, I think, is a solid plant that's overlooked. Yeah, everybody talks about dandelions, but don't sleep on the violets.
Yeah, we were eating violet flowers down here last time.
Yeah.
We love violets here. Hey, everybody, give it up for Johnny Brewbush here tonight.
That dude's kind of whack.
Wait to farm up.
Alright, we're down here at Wake the Farm Up, and we got a few more guests here tonight going into the evening. We'd love to welcome our next guest up, Daisy, artist. We're working on doing some paintings down here live right now. There's some live painting. So, Daisy in the tradition of the Wake the Farm Up show.
Okay. Glad I didn't have to correct him. I'm like, what? No, I heard Deja, not Daisy. Apparently it is both. Excuse me. I got real defensive right there.
So, in the tradition of the Wake the Farm Up show, there's a stand dial here. We're going to flip it, and you get like 2 minutes uninterrupted. You can introduce yourself, share poetry, song, however you want to share into it. And
it's going to be heard all over the world on Spotify.
We get to interrupt you, and we get to have some fun talking.
Okay.
Yeah.
He tries not to interrupt. He always says he's not going to interrupt. Most of the time, he does it. All right, here we go.
Okay, so I go ahead.
You go ahead.
Okay. Well, hello. My name is Deja, but I go by Daisy. I am a self-taught artist. I've been working with art ever since I was a little girl, but I started taking everything a little bit more serious once the pandemic hit. And just, I kind of knew that, well, if I could make this a full-time job and it would go really good for me. So actually, I am a full-time artist now. I quit my full-time job to become a full-time artist, and it supports my living lifestyle. So I'm from Middletown, Ohio, but I do a lot of like community artwork here in Cincinnati. There's a group called Black Art Speaks, and I work with them. And there's also a upcoming project at Ziegler Park that we're going to be working on. I know they're doing like a lot of construction on over there right now, but a lot of other Black artists are going to come up and put some murals there. So that's a good opportunity for Black artists. I was learning how to be a tattoo artist at one point, but okay, you hear me now? Okay. I can hear myself. But I was learning how to be a tattoo artist, but it's kind of hard to juggle being a tattoo artist and do paint and be a single mom at the same time. So it's like I had to pick either or. So I had a lot more emotion going on the art side of things, so I just stuck with that.
Wake the farm up.
Wake the art.
We get to interrupt you exactly at 2 minutes. I'm watching those sand kernels drop. So we still want to hear more, so go ahead.
Okay. Okay, so, but yeah, I'm not giving up on tattooing just yet. Just right now, no. You know?
I feel it, yes, no. I especially wanted to wake the farm up on that because I'm feeling it. I am a single mom too. I'm new to being a single mom. And we have kids about the same age, we discovered. So yeah, it's a trip. I kind of am in that same boat of like having a few different creative interests and talents, but it's like, where do I put the energy? Because it's a lot.
Yeah, it can be a lot, but don't give up.
Aww.
Don't give up.
Aww. No, for sure. And I was raised by a single mom. I got 2 kids. She had 4. When I was, like 8, whatever, throughout my early childhood, she went to law school, went to one of the best law schools in the country, and finished. It's like, okay, well, I don't really have a lot of excuses. I'm going to have to accomplish what I set my mind to.
Yeah.
So your children are seeing that right now.
Oh yeah, they got a pretty cool mom.
Yeah.
So, and I got a lot of tattoos, so you know,
yes,
that's even cooler.
They are super cool. I was wondering, did you design them?
Most of them, but nice. A lot of them I got because I thought they were cool, which is nothing wrong with that.
Right? No, they're beautiful.
Very botanical.
Very botanical, very earthy. Yeah. I'm loving it. There's a bee, there's a butterfly, there's a few different flowers, roses for sure, there's the sunflower. What else you got?
It's a
moth. Excuse me. It's totally a moth.
And it's crazy, I got all these like insects tatted on me, but I really don't like when they touch me, but but I got them on me. So.
But you got a bigger one on you, so it's like, don't mess with me. I got the big bee right here.
Man, earlier today I took a shower before coming down here, and I got into the shower and there was this big wolf spider on the ground, but I was already in the water taking my shower. I'm like, all right, this is okay if, like, you know, this spider just stays away from my feet. So I took my shower, I was like doing my little quick shaping thing up in here, and then all of a sudden it crawled across my toe, and I like flicked it over, and it like, and then I started like splattering water. You know how you get it to go on your arm? You can kind of be a water fountain person and have it go trickle right onto the spider. And it looked like it was really enjoying it. And that's when like I just knew we were at peace. We were both just taking a shower. I turned the water off, looked at it in the bottom of the shower there, and it was like, yeah, we're two clean creatures here right now.
That's love. Wow.
No, that's funny. I try not to kill bugs.
Nice.
Just let them be.
Yeah, I don't know if I've intentionally bathed with one quite like that before.
Right.
That's different.
That's really, you're either really close, really just like forming a solid bond there.
Yeah, I feel like I'm in the web with that, you know, the whole network of spiders and stuff now.
Oh, nice.
I've only ever showered with little frogs. When I lived in like a very natural setting in the woods, and we had like a bathhouse. It was not a very closed off situation. There were plenty of frogs up in there.
That's scary.
Very cute.
So like your artwork that you're passionate about your artwork. I can tell you're like producing all these are all original pieces right here. You didn't bring like some prints. You got a piece that you've been working on this evening while we've been doing the show and earlier, and you're gonna be working on it tonight more, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna get that.
And are you talking about one of your daughters? Is that the one you've been working on over there?
Yeah, I'm gonna live paint that one just so
It's
you guys can like
beautiful.
come up and check it out if you want.
I really love it. Like, honestly, it's so cool the way it is, like in process. You know, there's so many different ways to like do art these days. Like, I almost thought it was a finished piece.
Look at this. There's this one with like
But-
superhero influence, like.
Because it's so cool, even in process. So that's so we're also looking at one of your son here, which is pretty awesome. I love the story behind that one. If you want to share.
Yeah, so that's different. I ain't never heard that before.
What is happening?
I was wondering what that was. But yeah, that's a painting that I did of my son. So the whole story behind that one is my son was born with a heart defect. He's had a total of 5 open heart surgeries, and he's only 5 years old. But he kind of like got that superhero name over time. You know, nurses coming in and out, you know, just trying to make him feel better, you know, saying that he's a superhero because he's strong. He made it through. The beginning parts of his surgeries were really hard, only because, you know, I was a single mom. So I was pretty much there by myself, but I had I have really good support system as far as family goes. So I wasn't necessarily always by myself. But yeah, I kind of just incorporated a lot of his favorite Marvel superheroes and even added armor onto it as well. And he wanted fires to come from his hands. So, so that's his superpower. He wanted to be able to throw fireballs.
And it's such an awesome painting. To describe to people what I'm seeing, there's this adorable little boy with this really strong looking face on, like he's fully in his superhero character. He is making his muscles. He's in a little superhero suit with flaming orange hands. And all around him, there's lots of superheroes in kind of a comic strip style. We got Spider-Man, Iron Man, the Hulk, a bunch of, I don't really know all of the characters on there.
Yeah, I don't know all the characters
not a
on there
5-year-old boy.
either, so they kind of turn into like characters. Like I feel like there's like
Conan the Barbarian. There he
like
is.
right behind his head. Is that He-Man or is that's comic character too?
Yeah.
Thor.
Thor. That's Thor. Okay.
So
Yeah, Thor.
good. I love it.
Yeah.
It's just such a like the style of the painting is really cool. Right. Sold for $75,000.
We got 10 on them, 10,000 on them. Coming up on the backside on there.
Nice.
Man with the Bengal shirt, you can take 70, 50,000 on that.
Don't tell everybody she's not going to be single long enough. People would be coming for her for that 17,000. But you said that like 25,000 have looked at this so far on your Instagram, is it?
Oh yeah, so I posted on Facebook yesterday, and I also shared it to other few art groups. But when I woke up this morning, I got like a lot of like comments and shares, and like other people who's gone through the the heart surgery process, just saying that they really loved the piece and it spoke to them. And but yeah, it's I just checked a few minutes ago and it's at like 27,000.
Beautiful.
But
that's amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome. I kind of knew that this was gonna go viral, so it's not really a surprise.
It's a really good painting.
Yeah. Yeah, and it actually has a meaning to it too, and that's and a lot of people gravitate towards that.
Absolutely.
So.
I love the way that you indicated so subtly that the open heart surgeries, it's a really beautiful little just a mark on his chest. And so could you tell us the Facebook, where can people look at this? We're going to post it, of course, on Wake the Farm Up, on our Maintaining Ground podcast stuff. Andy does all that. So where are we going to post it?
Wherever you want us to. We'll talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll post it on our stuff, but also where can people find you and your work?
Okay, so on Instagram, my name is Miss Daisy. Miss Daisy with 4 eyes. And then I also have a Facebook as well, which goes by my real name, Deja Fletcher. So
cool, so beautiful. I just absolutely love it. I'm so excited that you brought this here to share with us tonight. Thank you. And it's really, I know recently organized getting some clothes for a mother who thought that the child while it was prenatal, they thought they detected a heart defect. It turned out not to be the case in the long run, but when I posted and was gathering clothes for her, there was a lot of mothers who really reached out, and it seems like a lot of mothers have gone through this and understand that it's a really challenging, heartbreaking process, but it also, there's so much power in being able to get through it and find other parents. It's really cool that that's your oldest son, that you've had another child in the middle of a pandemic since then, and you're still thriving.
Yes, I'm not having any more children. That is it.
I am done.
Are you sure?
All their children are beautiful. I mean, if they look anything like the paintings.
The little spirits, they just come out of the air and find their way into this world when they want to.
Right. Change you in the process.
But yeah, I'm way supportive of pro-choice concepts, just to throw in a strange political term, but yeah, much respect.
Yeah.
Your art is definitely an awesome choice, to nurture that and grow
my
that.
son, he is 5, my daughter's 3. So they're still very young, but they're also kind of picking up my artistic skills too. So I think it's kind of cool. So they might be little artists too.
That's awesome. That's great. I know my dad was a really good artist. I'm glad to hear your kids are picking it up, because I feel like I tried it one time and I was like, no, I'm not as good as my dad. May as well not try it.
Yeah. Practice makes perfect.
Right.
You got it though.
And did you ever have any formal training for your art?
I took a few advanced art classes in high school, but that's as far as I went.
Wow.
I did want to go to an actual art school, but it just never happened. So.
Yeah, no, I'm just wondering, because you have such technical skill. I've worked with a lot of artists, and I mean, your proportions are really well done. There's just a lot of depth to these paintings, and some people don't need to go to art school because you got it.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so
much.
much.
You found some like passion in the art and like the flow in which you work with colors and
Yeah, I like colors and flowers.
I love looking at an artist's like pieces all together too. Like the whole collection of what you brought in here with you is amazing together. Mm-hmm. Have you brought those to like art galleries and like hung them up and done shows and stuff like that?
Yeah, I've done a few shows and I brought those pieces there. I also have some more at home. I have like a whole big stash of paintings. But yeah, I kind of switch it up a little bit and just bring different ones. So, you know.
How do you like the presentation of it in a gallery? Like, what's your favorite way to present your artwork? That's where I'm going.
I would like, or my favorite way, I would say, is to have it like hung up in a gallery to where it reaches like different people, you know. But yeah, if I could like work on getting my stuff like in a museum and then like it just being there, that would be even better.
Yeah.
But that's the goal.
Your work reminds me a little bit of some of what I've seen at the 21C Museum. Like they're very into kind of a very contemporary style and but also with, you know, some skill behind it.
Yeah. And then the one reason that I love painting too is that I'm able to express myself because I can be very closed off and quiet. So it's easier for me to, you know, pick up a paintbrush and just paint, you know.
Oh, you're gonna be communicating loud if you're like doing murals on sides of buildings and stuff, huh?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Have you done large murals and whatnot along the way? A bunch of those, or how's that?
I've actually done a few murals. There's one at a tattoo shop here downtown. I did one there. There's also another one at a coffee shop in Hamilton. I forget the name. And then there's another one that I did at my friend's photography studio, which I'm still working on.
Nice.
But yeah.
How's that feel like after the first time you did a large mural?
I know my potential, so it's just like, but I try to be humble too, you know. But I just kind of knew, like, after I finished that one, you know, more opportunities would come by. You know.
So, different turn here. We talked a little bit about you having tattoos, and for our listeners who can't see, the tattoos are like, you have tattoos across your chest and covering your neck and a little bit on your chin. And that's interesting to me here, like hearing you're like a quiet person and where that's such like a loud statement. I'm wondering what that's like for you to be a person who has those type of, like, 'cause obviously people can perceive that so differently.
Yeah, having a lot of tattoos, you do get a lot of attention, but honestly, like, I feel as if like getting tattoos for me specifically is more like therapeutic, just because, you know, I've had, you know, problems with depression before, so it's just like having or just feeling that pain. Like, it doesn't hurt that bad. I mean, all tattoos hurt, but just feeling that pain, it just is therapeutic, if that makes sense.
Whoa.
Yeah, and there's like an endorphin release, I think,
I was
during
kind of like
tattooing.
trying to talk to you about that the other day, Liz, when you were talking about poison ivy, and I was telling you about how when I itch it, it's like part of my brain goes to, this is painful, but there's another part of my brain goes to, this feels really good.
No,
So
no,
like
right.
I just try to lean into that part, and I just scratch that stuff.
Yeah.
But I've got an interesting relationship with poison ivy too, and that like having that mentality, it kind of like, it just relaxes and it moves through my body really quickly, so I don't like end up with rashes for long periods of time. A big change for me happened with that after doing 3 years of raw food fasting where I didn't eat any cooked foods, and I think it changed my whole body in a whole bunch of ways.
Right, I know.
Reset.
Well, we're talking about it for a reason. We talk about it because I'm splotched with poison ivy. That is why it had come up. But I think that my poison ivy this year hasn't been as bad as lots of other years, probably because I went grocery free and I eat all local food and all this stuff and whatever. But I ate a lot of local gluten today. I'm really nervous to see what happens tomorrow.
I mean, it's always good to remember when you get poison ivy, it's local poison ivy. It's not shipped in from somewhere else. I mean, like I hope
Get that
not.
local itch. It's not that bad. Oh, man.
So thanks for coming up and sharing with us about your artwork. I look forward to sharing some
She's
of
gonna
these
have
photos.
T-shirts soon too,
Nice.
and I've actually already got one on reserve. Just saying.
Nice.
And you heard that
Oh, this
live
shirt
here.
right
I got
here is
one.
your
She
styling
told me
shirt
that
here?
too.
Oh no, I didn't style that one.
Yes,
Okay.
she's gonna be. Yes, she's a part of the camp.
Oh,
Washington
awesome.
Summer
Yes,
Fest.
Daisy
She's
will
gonna
be at the
leading.
Camp Washington
She's
Festival.
gonna be taking care of all these artists. She's in church. Watch, you'll see. Wait.
Awesome.
Come on,
Oh yeah,
girl.
just wait and see.
Let's
I got
go.
some more stuff up my sleeve, so I'm gonna
I
surprise
believe
the whole
that.
world with my
I
art.
look
You
forward
have
to
tiny sleeves.
Oh no, she's gonna learn how to play keys some too.
She's been magic.
Well, I really look forward to seeing how this painting that you're working on tonight progresses and
Yes.
seeing you out there in the universe at different events working on your art. I look forward to. I think live art painting is an amazing thing to do, and I definitely want to encourage seeing you out there doing that. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Style. Yes.
Give it up. Aisha Daisy.
Wait to farm up.
Wake the art. The artist realm. So.
Just a little didgeridoo section of the podcast. You know, like every other podcast.
All this food out here, we cooking it green. We got things coming in fresh and clean. Everybody think they be hungry, but what it don't seem, they got things out here.
You don't
they
gotta
could be
freestyle,
clean, but they be waiting
Micah.
there to get
What?
their dollars so they can be
freestyle?
working their green or their
No, you
blue
ain't
or their
ready.
white collar.
What?
You get down to the chili
Where you
place.
at, man? I
Where
thought you were
at?
ready
We
for the
got-
mic.
We got it down to the chili place.
Back
You know,
here.
we be smacking
Here.
that up and eating that with our
Hey,
face. when
Andy.
We got green coming
Andy.
down.
Oh. Yeah, it's time for me to take the mic. I got hooks, but I can mic guys to write what I got left. I had never right. I freestyle wild like a boy, cowboy on a high horse. How the fuck you do this and never score? I don't know, but I lose when I snooze. I don't hit an alarm. I'm just ringing bells. I don't know.
Yeah. We got a special guest coming up here right now that's been with us on the podcast before. Welcoming up here, Ono Project for a check-in here. We got him playing some music here tonight in the artist mix-up. So, I'm gonna do some I'm gonna try to do some photo bombing. Gently nestled in here into like this evening here. How you guys doing out here tonight? Drip lounging? This is like the lounging is dripping sweet time here. We do have people up here dancing on top of these rooftop buildings. It's crazy. All right. You want to do the 2-minute thing? You want to just cut right in the check-in and we're right off we were last time? Or let's do a 2-minute check-in.
You start and then we'll do the 2-minute check-in.
I'll start what? You want me to start?
I'll start.
Yeah. You say some stuff, and then we'll do the thing.
Okay.
I need a little warm up. I need to get the mic in my hand. I need to get used to being talking into it and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. It's a cool thing. It's just got this wire coming. It's like foamy and like. Sometimes you can like squish it against your face, and it's like a little buddy.
I got you.
Yeah. We're so lounged in here.
Very lounge.
Where'd that Elvin coffee go? Brewed perfectly at the right temperature like 2 hours ago.
I don't drink coffee.
Tell me about that.
Caffeine. I don't do caffeine.
I drink decaf coffee every day.
Thank you.
Well, I'm nursing a toddler. Whoever asked what the point was. So I nurse a toddler. I still want the frickin' taste of the coffee.
Yeah.
Still love it.
Maybe you'd have caffeinated if you were about to like let the kid go and hang out with.
Yeah, I do that all the time. Like when my kid's not gonna be like, there are some nights when he does not come back and nurse to me. I drink some caffeinated coffee then. But what do you drink? It's warm.
I like tea. I like tea and hot chocolate.
Like
then I suppose some hot chocolate probably has some caffeine in it. Cocoa has, caffeine.
Like straight up tea, like Camellia sinensis or tisanes as well, like different herbal blends and all that.
Usually something like floral with some fruit, like something with like peach and like mint or something like that.
Like on a daily or like the morning kind of thing, or when's your tea time?
I used to, when I'm doing things the way I want to do them, I usually, the first thing I have in the morning is tea and oats. Just like tea and grains, like something really plain, a little bit of honey maybe in that. And then usually that's before breakfast. Like that'll be like a warm up, and then I'll have some eggs and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then the music.
I guess it's all one thing, but it's not one big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Just like taking it in stages, letting my system wake up. If I'm doing it the way I want, I don't ever get to do it the way I want. I rarely get to do it the way I want. I usually am out the door before I've had a chance to make my tea or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
And once you get out the door, the music just starts coming out of you.
I wish. Usually I'm out the door to start teaching sometimes I go straight to performing. Yeah. It would be nice. It would be nice every day to just have to go out and play.
Right.
But someday that'll be the thing.
I picture you like waking up, having your tea and your oats, and then skipping out the door with one of your instruments in hand.
Skipping
and
out.
You're just like floating off playing music. But you gotta understand. Some people sometimes think of me. They're like, "Oh, he's out on a little homestead. He's probably just skipping around chasing butterflies."
Only partially true.
Yeah, there's moments.
I think it's kind of an interesting time too, of like a lot more people at least people in my world, tapping into their creativity a little bit more, and there is a bit of a balance. Like maybe I'm not seeing people try to necessarily do the one thing as much, but they get so much joy and contentment out of whatever their art is that they can also have income in other ways.
Yeah, it's tough. I think that, being an artist is not a statement of career. Being an artist is like a statement of personal identity in pursuit. But then the way that I conceptualize like my plan, everything around it, is to be of service through that. And so what I would hope for eventually is to be able to justify a life performing music through the means of creating value for people and see it in terms of that,
Love
for me, it's always in that direction, right? It doesn't come from payment into value. It comes from value into, like being of value and service to people, and seeing that come back to you in the way of finance, or whatever can make that stable.
Yes.
But that's, and something that of course I've come to is that some people, they go the other way around, and when it does come the other way around, oftentimes is the image of privilege, where it's just like, oh well, this individual just has the privilege to go out and do whatever they like,
right,
and get compensated for it,
right.
chasing butterflies.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. No, people will probably associate the similar things with people who dedicate their lives to that kind of pursuit. It's like, oh, that person's not doing anything of value, you know, like they're just going around prancing about, doing whatever. Yeah, whatever people's concept of you is, but you know, it's hard to, you can't be bogged down by that. If you know what you're doing, and if you know what you're doing is aiding your community in some way, it's difficult, but you have to maintain your own sense of value in that.
What's this fairy tale you're talking about?
I know, right?
I don't know. That's the point of that song.
Well, I want to hear a little more about like some of these forms of service. How has music helped you be of service?
I mean, it's more in a global sense. Like I say, like I mean, a lot of the music that I make, a lot of the music that I conceptualize is purely expressive, right? It's just from my viewpoint, coming from experiences that I've had. I do create sometimes outside of that. I conceptualize the totality of it as service in a certain fashion because I understand what the value is in being the voice in the room. And I've done what I can to try to inform myself along the lines of lots of different rooms. Like, you know, like what does it look like to be in a room of people that don't usually get to speak? What does it look like when you're in a room with people who don't usually get to hear music, and all these different things? There's so many different ways to use music in a way that's going to benefit your community. And I think that it's, like I said, it's more global and it's less totally specific. Though I can come up with specifics.
Well, I want to get specific too. You know, being here tonight, you know, we're talking a bit about the Camp Washington Music Festival and bringing music aspect into that. Is that something that you're interested in talking about at all?
Sure. I don't know if I have anything to offer beyond my conjectures and interests. I don't know if I know anything much about it. I think we might have talked about this the last time we were out here.
So Drip is going to be hosting Camp Washington Fest sometime this year, probably late summer, early fall, some point.
Sweet.
The date's still to be determined. You know how calendars roll.
Yeah.
You know, like, I think we have it set on one of the astrological, like, 18-moon calendars, and then it's been converted onto one of the 13-moon calendar systems, and then also, like, fact-checked with the 28 moon. So,
oh my God.
I haven't converted it over to the Roman Gregorian calendar yet. I don't know if anybody has.
Did it already happen?
Know?
I'm really lost now.
Did it already happen? That's cool though. So an end of the summer kind of thing. I'm with a friend of mine. We're putting together like an on the farm kind of music fest up in Middletown. Every time I hear that name, I'm like, oh my gosh, I know somebody out there. But yeah, there's a ton of cool stuff coming up together for the end of the summer. So I would be definitely interested in hearing more about this Camp Washington Fest.
Yeah.
If that's what they're calling it.
Yeah. What do you think of Camp Washington Fest, you guys?
We need the spokesperson to come on.
I think it's great, and we're thankful to Opti and the whole crew, and people's really starting to get that together. Really thankful for that. And we have a whole shuffle of a crudity crowd. We are gonna move this baby outside. We are gonna move the stuff.
Wake the farm up.
What the farm?
Why
Man, sun's going down. Starting right on time.
We got Stefan 101.
Oh yeah. There's that guy. He's here too. He's here too.
how's your night been going so far? Hey.
Okay.
I'm getting tripped out over here, waiting for the show to start. I'm kind of excited. How about Omar's getting excited? I like your hat, Omar. Super cool. Did I eat something? Did someone give me something to eat? I feel like my voice sounds funny. What do you want to eat? What do you want to eat? There's all kinds of stuff to eat around here. There's samosas. You like samosas? I'd like some samosas. I think there's some under that rock right over there. There's samosas. There's some under that rock right over there. Deep fried and butter and cream. You know you want samosa when there be something green. I want some chili. You want some chili, baby? You want to get a little bowl of chili? Come on. You don't need it. You like guac? Like guac. I'm gonna check the interpretation switch. Checking the interpretation switch. Switching over.
Okay, I think I might not.
Switch. Checking the interpretation switch. Switching over.
Okay, I think I might not.
Switch. Checking the interpretation switch. Switching over.
Yeah, we perform up.
Oh yeah, I wake the farm up. Let me speak to y'all real quick. Now time is just an adjustment, and I'm just in the same. I'm not your regular human being. I got time on the wristband. I gotta watch it, so stop pocket watching me. I'm not the best man in the same by any means. We got women that's approaching the same. Man, I'm about to level this out real quick. I got more money than I got to give. Let me just turn it up a little bit. Nod your head, let me get into the flow of it. I wanna turn it up just a little bit. Wake the farm up.
Waking it up.
Oh yeah, we waking it up. Waking it up.
In the fields and in the green and in the browns and in the trees and the skies and the blues.
Blue, we got the blue sky. True. Oh yeah. I rap from God and this is God flow. I know that this is the world I know. We stuck in a reality that's so dope. I know. I wanted to level out within the water. I wanted to be absorbed in it. I realized that life is more than a solvent. It's polluted, but we to solve it. Yeah, we here to solve it.
Yeah, the flowers be dripping down from the black locust trees, tasting like the sweetest of honey. Please, you know you all had some of them red buds, but time's moved on.
You got your boy here.
New season.
Not by any means.
New reason. Sprinkle that.
Hey yo, let me put this up in my pocket real quick. I love this beat. I actually do. Alright. Yo. I actually wanna
hang on here. We got a special announcement coming from one of the podcast guests from the last Drip episode. We got India formerly. I want to introduce you.
Okay, sorry. So, it's for me?
Yeah, that's your girl, India.
It's for me. Okay, so, okay. Hi, my name is India, but my artist name is You, Y-E-U, as in I am you. You can find me on Instagram. But there's this group of people, they put on open mics, and I've been performing with them recently at the Comment on Mondays. So if you're around and want to come hear some good stuff, it's not just me, it's a whole bunch of other artists, poets, if y'all like this kind of stuff. Basically what Steph puts on here, definitely show up. Tuesdays we're at Somerset, and Wednesdays tonight we're at Alice, so yeah.
Wander down the rabbit hole with Alice there too. Like we came from the Comet on, what was that, Monday night? Like, you know, the Comets, like they travel past our planet and sometimes they drop off new mushrooms from other parts of the galaxy. They just drop in, like when a comet goes by. You know, these spores, it's been proven they can be encapsulated in ice capsules and make it through our atmosphere and then come down here and just take new forms, you know? Maybe at some point they, you know, attached onto algae and just connected with the algae and grew into this whole thing that we call lichen now. We look at it like it's its own species, but it's multiple species happening at the same time. Crow. We was talking about the sea moss and how it goes into our brains and helps connect the tissue like mycorrhizas into the ocean.
See, I'll be doing this sea moss, with like 182 things that the body need. You know what I mean? But it ain't no. What you said it was. But we got it from Jamaica. We got ours from Jamaica. But let me Jamaica sea moss,
right from the coast down there.
Yeah, it was pretty legit. You know what I mean? Purple. We had golden.
So there's like all kinds,
there's
like similar properties though, and they'll like work on your brain tissue.
The purple one is actually more pungent, potent. Like it's really like it ain't. It's like more fishy. Like I wouldn't want that one that much actually.
Okay.
But the gold one, that one's good. That gold one is like you can blend it with almost any fruits. You know what I mean? You might want to throw you some cucumbers in there, get you some H320. You know what I mean? Get you a lot of different. You know what I mean? Because the body, like I love fruit. Like I live off of fruit, and I like vegetables, and vegetables is really good. But you know what I mean?
Swinging in some seaweed into the fruit.
Seaweed,
yeah. I love me some seaweed.
Sea moss. Yeah.
I've been on a seaweed diet.
Seaweed diet, yeah. I actually have had seaweed chips.
Nice. I know like seaweed's really high in a lot of nutrients. The ocean's full of nutrients. Where life like originated from a biological perspective. And
seaweed or
there's
sea moss.
Iodine, like things like iodine in seaweed, sea mosses.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, tell us the difference. Tell everybody the difference. Sea moss and seaweed.
Seaweed looks like more like a plant than veins. See, sea moss look like veins.
Like vein, like dendritic, like your capillaries. Yeah.
And what about
they branch?
How does it impact your internal systems differently? Like what's?
See, that part has to come from how it's grown in the sea. See, like I ain't gonna say like yo, it's man-made because it ain't. Like that shit was brought up out of the water, so maybe somebody tested that.
Okay. I'm just wondering, like I don't know. Do I get the same sort of? I've heard lots of the great qualities of seaweed and detoxing with seaweed and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, do I get the same stuff with sea moss? Does that same thing happen?
I wish if my partner was here, there would have been.
I'm assuming it would. I mean, I assume they're pretty related. And in general, like any type of plant usually has some sort of detoxing qualities.
Yeah, see, it's not only that it helps with detoxification, if that's what you want to call it, but it benefits the human anatomy.
Right.
So that's the main part of it, right?
Right.
That it benefits the human anatomy.
Yeah, I like that more holistic. I love how when people go away from the detoxing thing, it's like we're not these toxic creatures. And
right.
We don't need
we do need to like deworm ourselves and shit, but I haven't gotten that far into my life.
Yeah, in seasonal foraging, it's amazing. There's dewormers right at the time that you're seeing it's funny, but you'll see it at the vet. They'll be recommend deworming your dogs. You know, it's like there's all these plants and herbs that are happening out there and their potency to help deworm you.
Like, do you know about what is that? Like a poppy fruit?
I don't know about that.
I don't know about like poppy fruit and
no, it's like
the celadine.
It's like a melon. It has black seeds in it.
Okay.
What is it called? Like a papaya. Papaya.
Okay.
So if you like put, I said poppy. I'm all the way off. But if you put like papaya seeds with honey, it actually connects to whatever parasites. Like I tried it. It's very disgusting. Right? But what it is good for the body.
Right.
So sometimes you gotta do what you don't like.
Right, for sure.
Yeah, when you nurture the body, you know, like this brings me into like a little piece I wanted to hear from you a little bit about like your spiritual mind and like in our conversations we've had before we get deep real quick into like fifth eye chakra stuff, you know, beyond third eye stuff. It's like what's going on? How did we get there like that?
So I'm an artist that believes like spirituality is not here for the taking, it's a gift, right? So if it's a gift, then that means everybody should be open to receiving, right? So if everybody's open to receiving spirituality, you shouldn't want to be shut off from anything that your mind, your body is willing to offer you. So you want the world, what the world has to offer you, right? The whole point is in spirituality, how do you get there? You know what I mean? How you get there? How do you receive your blessings, right? I'm not all the way there yet, but like I see that I can see other people's blessings come before my own. But I see it work out in my favor a lot of the times. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you get into the flow, and then the flow just takes you into the right place, and you're like, I'm Crow in the flow. You've been dressed up tonight to match this microphone, and you didn't even know it. Like, let's give it up for Crow in the microphone.
Hey, he's got a song for this.
Got a song coming through this.
All right, I'll bring it.
Huh? Thank you guys, everybody. Look, this is really just a freestyle, just so y'all know. On God, yeah, I built the biggest boat. Get on in, let's drive the boat. Off the coast, we do the most. Toast up, let's party. Yeah, nah, I don't got nothing for this shit, but I'm sorry, I did try. It's close. I didn't want to just say I was fucking it up, but
Here's a weird template.
I liked it that first one. That shit was so life. Right. Let's get it. I'm gonna just
Natural rhythm of the heart. You feel it. You want to answer that, don't you? You want to answer that?
That's you? Hey, yeah, I do. Yeah. Yo, got the best ad-libs that's on the scene. Everybody, they rapping like Kyle is king. Crow, he knew and he doing the most. Toast up, we getting drunk, we getting lit, the party lit. Rocking the body, that body tight. So many beautiful women out here tonight. Likewise, like mine, not shy, real nice guy. Look, they already know that I'm a Hebrew man. Came from the sand like God can man me to do the things I do. And I am not just this, but I'm that guy under the light, too fried. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like that. That's good stuff, you know. Because when you're looking out here, you guys notice these trees coming out of this chimney over here. There's some amazing bushes.
It's amazing where the birds will plant things. They'll garden everywhere, right in your hair if you stand somewhere long enough. You know?
Yeah, I know.
Some of that crow. Some crows be landing up in there. They be flying in flocks. They be bringing messages.
They be bringing the messages across the forest, across the city landscape, wherever you walk in, all of a sudden they hear the crows. They be spreading the messages. Spreading the messages. Did you get the message? Did you pick that in? Did you answer that? Did you answer that, Liz?
I'm on hold.
All right, can you turn on the on hold music?
I'm looking at all the plants. I'm like, oh, chickweed. I always love it here. It's a plethora of all the things I want to eat.
I was full of the devil, man.
Thank you.
We're gonna be doing a slight shift. You are listening to Auburn Skies by Sick Boy, who happens to be in the house over there. What's up, Sick Boy? Been hearing a little bit from him, so y'all check him out. We got different artists in the house. Everybody minkle dingle, diggly doo. We'll probably be having him up in just a few minutes. You have everything.
Wake the farm up. Yeah, that was the Drip Coffee Lounge, May 10th, 2023. Check out the next shows coming up soon. From the Soul Patch. Yeah. Support the show. Check the links in the footnotes. Have fun. Get serious, yo.
Build and destroy all the scenes. Know in your heart what I mean. Come to conclusions that lead to solutions, but all I can see is the greed. Build and destroy all the scenes. Know in your heart what I mean. Come to conclusions that lead to solutions, but all I can see is the greed. Build and destroy all the scenes. Know in your heart what I mean. Come to conclusions that lead to solutions, but all I can see is the greed. Build and destroy all the scenes. Know in your heart